everybody. What's up with that, Sophia? Is that all you got today?
Hi.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to ABC Gluten Free. Thank you for joining us today. We have, I really wouldn't say we have a great show planned for you, which I normally say that, but today, not so much, right? Yeah. Put the knife down, please. Why is it not so much? We have like an show planned for you today. So if you want to go watch something else, go ahead. We don't mind. No, but really, certainly, we had lots of great expectations for today, but they did not come to pass. So today we are preparing some herbal dishes for you. Now, we hope you BYON, even though you might not be drooling, but you might by the end of the show, because we're going to make a beautiful pasta dish with a lot of the herbs. We wrote Herb Heaven for the title of the show today because all of the herbs are popping up, and if you don't get them now, you're going to be really super, super sad. So we're just going to go over some of the herbs that we have. Would you do that for me? Go over the herbs that we have on our plate. Now, we're going to be talking about... Hold on one second. We're going to be talking about herbs. We're not going to be talking about... Excuse me. We're not going to be talking about pot. We know that's an herb. We get you guys are all into it, but we're talking about the herbs that I grow in my garden, okay? So I don't have that in my garden. And I do have these herbs, which we absolutely love, and Sophia's going to share them with you.
Parsley.
Hold up a little bit so they can see.
Parsley.
So, there are many different types of herbs, but this is what we have in our garden.
Rosemary.
Rosemary.
And basil.
Basil. So, you guys can guess which is my favorite out of this selection here. Maybe I'll send you a little prize. You're not supposed to say it, first of all, and second of all, that's not it. So don't guess rosemary, because you might not. Alright, so if you guess, I'm going to send you a little prize up on Facebook. We're going live. We're also on live stream. And if you have any questions about herbs or storing, drying, keeping, selecting which herbs are best for which dish, maybe what goes with what, or how should I save this, or things like that. We're going to go over a little bit of that today, but not too much. So we're going to go really fast. So Sophia went over the herbs for you. These are the ones we have. Jeremiah's here. Hi, buddy. How was orientation?
Hooray. Hip, hip, hooray.
Jeremiah went to orientation at OCC, but you guys don't need to know that. But anyway, okay, so.
No, you don't need to know.
So anyway, he's going to probably come in and help us with whatever we can possibly do. We try to do our best today. You know, if the cameras are crooked, you guys don't need to comment because I already know this. It's public knowledge, let me put it that way. Alright, so one thing I want to talk to you about, Captain Obvious. Yep. Alright, so for the herbs, what we want to just talk to you about is picking your herbs. When you pick basil, you just keep cutting, it'll keep coming. So you want to make sure that you continually cut that. We dry ours on some nice brown paper, covered, and we let that sit almost till maybe November, right? Gluten-free Grandma's here. We already apologized to her because we don't really have a great show planned for you today, but we have a good show planned for you today. She's been cutting herbs and keeping track of, she's going to be keeping a nice hold on the rosemary, which that will come in. When does that come in, Gluten-free Grandma?
In October.
In October, we'll bring this in, and I think it does better in here than it does in Gluten-free Grandma's sunroom. I think it does better there. We've got oregano, which is delicious, and we have parsley. So all of those can be dried. The only thing I would suggest to you is the rosemary. If you don't want those harsh twigs, then pick off all of the little, I call them pine needles. Pick those off and dry those like that. Okay, not right now, honey. But if you just take a little rub and smell it, just like Sophia did, it's spectacular. So grab the strainer for Mommy. Some tools that you need to have in order to be drying herbs, but some of them are not necessary, but it just makes your life a little bit easier. So we have our OXO, what is this called? What is this called? I forget.
Strainer.
Colander strainer. Yeah, but it's a salad spinner. So it's called a salad. It's called a salad spinner, and it does come in 3. It comes in. No, what? Don't take it off. You do it. So you've got the colander in the center, the big bucket that you can soak, I like to soak mine with the colander and then pull it up and strain out the water. And sometimes those little like leaves and stuff will come to the top. You could pick those off before you strain it out. Then it comes with
You have the
kind
pusher.
of like a water filter and the plunger.
You
You
got
have
that
a
for you.
pusher and you have a stopper.
My wonderful son got that for me, who loves me so much that he got this for me because he broke my other one. But anyway, it has the plunger and it has the stopper and it has the clip to hold the lock to hold the plunger down. So this is what we use to clean our herbs. Okay, get rid of that, Sophia. Once the herbs are cleaned, we put them in a container with a dry towel. It's important to keep them dry, otherwise you will get molds, and then you don't want to eat moldy herbs because that's just disgusting. Sophie, could you stop and bring your container over, please? This one? When I put the herbs in it, she doesn't want to do it, but when it's empty, she wants to do it.
No,
All right, so I've got a container just with a towel, and you want to really lay it out flat. I'm just showing you this for for the purpose of showing you. But you could put this right into the refrigerator and let these all dry out, okay? I have in here basil and parsley from Chef John's garden, actually. They pulled up everything, and here it is. So we're going to be using this today on the show. So you could put that over. The next thing that you need to, or should possibly want to have, is a grinder. We have our, can you grab the grinder, please? We have our coffee grinder. So once your herbs are dried, or you can do wet herbs if you have the right setting, you'll put them in the coffee grinder and grind them up once they're dry. So if you grab the dry herbs for me, please. When your herbs are dry and you feel like they're crunchy, crispy enough that you can put them into the grinder, we have ours set in a jar. Now these are from last year, so these are dried from last year. Sophia, do that again so they can hear it. Turn around, please. So these are really crispy. Listen, I'll let you hear. You hear that? They're very crispy. They're dried, and they're ready to be put into. They're ready to be put into either. You have a Ninja, a Vitamix, a coffee grinder. Coffee grinder actually has an herb top that you can put on. So whatever kind of grinder you have, I'm not sure, but just check the directions because I did use my coffee grinder for herbs, the last coffee grinder, and it broke. So this is why we have this beautiful one that Jeremiah also bought for me. All right, and then a cutting board. Obviously, we use our green cutting board for greens. We keep them separate.
and white cutting board for whatever I want.
And white cutting board, she's going to be doing some other stuff. So the last thing I want to talk to you about is you guys ask me all the time about my drink that I drink in the morning, and I've posted many, many times. But this is an herbal drink. So you know herbs are not only for flavor, they're medicinal, and they're also for healing purposes. So this drink contains, you see how yellow my container, my e-spring water filter system bottle is? That's from the turmeric and the cayenne pepper. So in the morning, I make this batch on a Saturday, and then I drink it all week. So this is rosemary, cinnamon, bay leaf. If you don't have bay leaf, you could use bayberry, which I know my friend Ashley has a bayberry bush. I love that. There's cloves and anise in here. And all of these have a different purpose. So, but mostly they're anti-inflammatory, antiviral, antifungal. And it's just a great way to start your day. That is topped off with water and either maple syrup or honey, and lots of turmeric, lots of cayenne pepper, and what else, Sophia?
Could you put lavender in here?
No lavender.
Honey.
Honey or maple syrup, I said, and then I top off the herbs, let it steep for 10 to 15 minutes, and then I fill the rest up with water. Now, if you wanted to make up bottles ahead of time, like we save some of the glass bottles that we get from our drinks, and we will fill those up and have them ready to go for when we have to get somewhere early in the morning. You don't want to miss out on your cleansing drink. It's also a metabolic stabilizer. So that means that it's going to stabilize all of your taste buds, stabilize your thyroid and your metabolism, and kind of kickstart everything in your mouth so that you'll actually be able to taste your food. And you want to make sure that you're eating balanced, which we're not going to go over that today. That's a whole other story. All right, put that over there for me, Sophia, please. All right, so now we're going to get started on actually our herbs that we're going to be using today for our dish. I'm going to need a little help. Sophia, maybe you could fill this up with water, or Jeremiah. I have my West Bend today because I feel like the best way to have an herbal dish is to put it with pasta. So that's one of my favorite things to do. I really do love pasta with herbs with clams, but since we didn't have that today, we're going to just do an herbs. Sophia's going to get chopping on the garlic now. This is essential. If you don't like garlic, you could use onion, but I would suggest the garlic
If you
because
don't
they go
like garlic,
hand in
Mommy
hand.
doesn't know what to say.
I really don't, because I just love garlic. I think garlic was in my baby bottle, and my husband would probably say yes, it was. We also have some garlic scapes, and these are really nice garlic. They have the garlic smell. I'm not sure, but I thought that these opened up into a flower, but I've only seen them kind of like this, so I'm not really sure. But if anybody has a picture of that, want to send it to me or post it on our ABC Gluten Free Facebook page, that would be cool.
I want to see if it does.
Jeremiah, could I get water in here, please? Or are you busy? Like halfway with water. No. All right, so I'm gonna get that water rolling. You can also do a bunch of different fried herbs. Now, fried herbs are really delicious, but you kind of have to use them as plate ornaments or something that's more of like you're gonna immediately use it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drop our basil in the fryer. That's gonna be our decoration for the top of our pasta dish, which, that's just like a little added thing. You can dunk it into the oil that you're using when you're making your dish, and then just kind of pull it out with tongs so that it has that nice oily, crispy taste. Or you could just omit that and not worry about it. So the dish we're making for you today is just a bunch of different herbs tossed with some pasta, with some really nice olive oil, and we're going to be using a little. Thank you, honey.
No, it tastes just like.
We're going to be using some herbs and some spices. Not really too much. We're going to dice that up. I do like sliced garlic. I like roasted garlic if you want to do that. So being that you have the time, or maybe you don't and you want to get it done, the best thing to do with all of your herbs is to blend them all up in your Ninja, your food processor, whatever it is that you have. Add some really nice olive oil and pop that right into either ice cube trays or cupcake containers. Freeze that and then put those once they're frozen, put them in a baggie, and then you have your herbs for when you want them. We have ours in the freezer, and we kind of just ran out, so it's just the perfect time for us to get that. Then if you want to, you can drop one of those discs into your soup stock. You could drop it into your pasta. You could drop it into your Ninja for your salad dressing, and it's ready, set to go. No, you're not putting the garlic in here, honey. This is to cook the pasta. All right, so we're going to get started on cooking the pasta first. Hopefully we have enough time that'll go real quick. I'm going to turn it all the way up. We have a guest visitor today. Tucker's here. We're pup sitting, I should say. Dog sitting. So we have Tucker here today. We want to make sure that nothing falls on the floor because he has a very restricted diet and we don't want to mess up his system. Sophia's going to cut the garlic scapes, cut all that up and put it in a bowl. And we're going to get all of our ingredients ready because this is a quick dish. If you need a quickie, this is one of the best things to do. Just kind of cut up all the things that you want. Put them on your plate. You can even do a little bit of onion, a little bit of pepper, and we're going to use some of these gorgeous tomatoes from our garden. Look at these little baby beauties. Aren't these lovely? They're so super sweet and delicious, right? Yummy. This is a nice onion that we got.
The red cherry tomatoes better than the purple ones.
Yeah. This is a onion that we got from a friend of ours who goes to a farm co-op. And these are some peppers that we got from our favorite people. And these are some hot ones. And then we have, actually, this one is from our garden. This little pathetic pepper, right? Gluten-free, Grandma? That's cute, though, right? It's cute. Don't you guys agree? All right, and then this onion is from the grocery store. The reason why I had some of this out, is actually these cucumbers are from Miss Molly's garden. Thank you, Miss Molly. Look at that giant bear. The reason why I put this stuff out is because I wanted to share with you that a lot of you are pickling and jarring and everything, and you really want to make sure you follow instructions, or you check with Miss Molly and you get that. If you're doing a lacto fermentation, if you're doing just a regular fermentation, or if you're doing the jarring and canning method where you're double boiling it, you really want to make sure you do it right, because you could really get sick, or you could ruin all of the products that you had and all of your garden delicious stuff that you do not want to lose. So you want to make sure that that's something that you look up. Now, I took a canning class and I still don't know how to do it. I'm still very lackadaisical. When I jar my tomatoes, I just roast them all in the oven. I throw herbs on it. I throw some seasoning on it. And then I just put them in the jar and let them seal up. That jar I put right into the refrigerator, and I don't put it up on the shelf anymore because I just didn't do well with that. But I will work on it. So if you guys have any suggestions about jarring tomato, Angela's mother does it the best, but I don't know how she does it so well. She does not double boil her jars. She boils the jar, puts the hot tomato sauce in it with 1 basil leaf. She jars them, turns them upside down, and puts them in a crate and leaves them there.
So you know how she does it.
But I don't know how they turn out so delicious. And it's very chocolat, Mom, like how Grandma Tilly used to do it, real chocolat. And then she would put 2 jars and cook it down, or put a thing of paste. It's so, so good. But she never double boils the jar. She just lets that vacuum seal itself and then just puts it up on the shelf. I don't know, amazing. Maybe because she's got the cold cellar.
Maybe.
Right, Angela, ask Nona how she does it. Alright, so I've got in here water. Yeah. I'm hoping that this is going to boil quickly. It's not looking so good, but... Alright, so Sophia's got the garlic chopped up and the garlic scape, which I love. The garlic scape has a nice green color, but it also has that delicious garlic flavor. We're also going to chop up an onion. I love having onion in my pasta. I like it with a little bit of a crunch to it, not so super, super soft. But if you did want to do, you don't like garlic or you can't have garlic, but you can have onion, you can do a nice little onion, in there instead. And onion makes a really good emulsifier when you're making a dressing. It makes it almost like it's creamy, like a delicious cream sauce. Alright, so Sophie, I'm going to have you just chop up this part of the onion. We'll only do a little bit. And that red onion is white on the inside. So it's, what is that considered? Just a white onion, right? Whoa, you okay, honey? And then you're going to chop up some herbs. So if you have your herbs out in your garden, you want to cut them. You either want to dry them or store them in. We have these green bags. They're literally called, I think they're actually called green bags or something, but they're good to store your herbs in because it allows the air to flow around the item. And it allows it to get dried out, and it's supposed to keep it fresher longer. I don't actually know if that's true, but... So this, you could put your herbs in here until you're ready to use them. You could store them in water glass in your refrigerator, covered with a little bit of plastic. That's supposed to be a good way to do it. Gluten-free, Grandma, how do you do it usually?
I just stick them in a little bit of water.
You just stick them in a glass of water and leave them on the counter?
Mm-hmm.
But you change the water all the time, don't you?
You have to.
Yeah, you have to change the water. Alright, so I'm going to let this boil. Sophia, you can put this right on here, honey. And then we're going to get chopping on some of the tomatoes. This is kind of like all of the summer's best. Can you put it nice? Or you have to put it, can you just like put it on one side nice? This is like all of the summer's best stuff coming together on one dish. I even have okra, but I'm not going to do that to gluten-free Grandma, because she does not like okra. But if you toss some okra in this, it will be delicious. You don't need to even cook it that long till it gets slimy. You just have to cook it till it gets a little bit tender. But it does make a nice thickener. I love eating okra raw. It's so good. Alright, start chopping up some tomatoes.
Please don't squirt. Please don't.
Make sure you take the tops off. Poke it with the knife first. For the cucumbers and tomatoes, you could actually make a nice salad. You could you could pickle the cucumbers or the tomatoes, either one, and have them nice jarred with some of the herbs.
This is how you want it.
Yeah, thank you. We also have a really special drink that
Am I
maybe
doing
Jeremiah
all
can
of
help
these?
us with now since you're available.
How many am I doing?
Just do a lot. I have, I ground up coffee with basil, so it's like a basilica, and a lot of places in Italy make a basil latte. So Jeremiah's going to do some milk work for us, and I've got the coffee ready. Hopefully I've got like a nice basil scent when that comes out. And you can do any herb, grind it up with your coffee, and have that set and left aside for when you actually want it. A really good one to do is chocolate mint. We have that in our garden. Chocolate mint is one of the best herbs. You can make your own homemade mint chocolate chip ice cream. No food coloring, just the flavor. And this is where food colorings and flavorings extracts came from. That people didn't have access to the herbs or they didn't have what they needed. And so these were made, and then obviously now it's worldwide. We can get any type of extract that we want, right? We don't have to actually grow our own, but I do like to do that. Jeremiah, could you fix that because the battery is dying? So I'm gonna actually pick off the oregano. I call it oregano, and I just kind of take it and just strip down the stalk. So now I have all the oregano in my hand, and then I have the stalk left. So I'm just going to put that right here. If you have any other herbs that you like, definitely put those into the pot and add them to your pasta or whatever. Alright, I'm just double checking this. It looks like it's coming up. I'm going to put a little bit of salt in our water. You want to give flavor to your pasta with salt? You don't have to though. It's not like a mandatory thing. But it's just like you do what your grandma did or you do what your mother did. That's what you do. It's like cutting the end off of the ham or the turkey. It's because your grandmother's pot wasn't large enough, but then you just continue to do it. Alright, Sophia's got our herbs for us. We've got some nice tomatoes here. Now, should we do hot pepper or no hot pepper? Guys want hot pepper or no hot pepper?
No hot.
No hot pepper. They're saying no hot pepper. Hot pepper really just balances the dish out because what we're going to do is make sure that we hit all of the elements. We've got the sweet, we've got the savory, we were going to do the hot, and then we got the spicy. What else? I said spicy and hot. That's the same thing. Tart. Sweet, tart, spicy. What was the other one? What's wrong with me? I can't think of it. Salty. Okay. So we want to hit on all of those notes, and that's really a good balanced meal, is when you hit on all of those notes. Can you cut more tomatoes, please? Wake up, girl. Let's go. This girl had a very busy week. She turned 13.
I want to pet.
Can you believe it? My little girl is 13. Now, don't make me cry.
Nothing.
Okay. Don't make me cry. It's too much. It's too much. And a lot of you guys know how I feel. A lot of my mom friends know how I feel. But as she gets older, hopefully we will always have a fun time together. And starting homeschooling, you get a little bit anxious starting that summer's coming to a little bit of an end, and then we start to homeschool, and then it starts to get cold. Then what happens? We hibernate.
Co-op starts.
No. Co-op starts, and then what else? Snowboarding season starts, and they love that.
I love co-op.
I'm glad you do. Miss Anna, here's
I
your
love
poster
co-op.
girl for co-op, right here. All right, Jeremiah, how am I doing? You gonna make us a nice drink?
Yeah.
What's my time on here? I don't know. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. And it could be related to herbs. It could be related to just some dishes we've done in the past. Or you know my favorite herb and you're going to say it. Or
I know what it is.
or you're going to ask me about a question about what we're going to do next. Now, if you have, I know everybody's barbecuing this weekend. Hamburgers, hot dogs, this, that. Maybe you can go back and watch one of our previous episodes when we grilled the pizza, when we grilled the pitas, when we just did a lot of grilling things that were so much fun. Yes. 1, 2, what? 1, 2, 4. 20, 2, 4. 1, 2, 4. I don't know what she's saying. Just say it. 1, 4. 142. I know what time it is, silly. All right. I want to get, Jeremiah, could you please get the drink going? Please. So the coffee is made already. You just have to foam some milk. Alright, I want you, no, you're going to stay here. Put this stuff away. So we're done with these items. Keep this out. We're not going to use the lime. The lime would be for a different instance. We're actually going to use lemon today to add some deliciousness to our dish. Add a little bit of acidity. It also just really peps up all the flavor of the herbs together. So now I noticed Sophia didn't do any rosemary. I don't know why, but she's going to have to do that. Do some rosemary. You'll be done in a little bit and you can play with Tucker. She's worried about the dog. Hi, Tucker. Today we're using a brown rice pasta. We're using one you might know. Anybody know this one? Normally we get pasta from our gluten-free co-op, but since our co-op was on break for August, we went to Aldi's. And I do like this pasta. It's very good. It's like the same one we get at co-op. It's about the same price. Aldi's usually keeps their prices pretty low. Unless you do Instacart, then it's like a little bit higher. So we have our brown rice linguine. Spaghetti, I'm sorry. We're going to put that into the pot. Hopefully it'll cook quickly because we don't want to waste time and we want to get you guys going on your Labor Day weekend. It's Labor Day weekend today. Start today, technically.
Yes.
So do people have off from work today and Monday?
Monday.
Not at the mall. Not when you work at Tilly's, you don't. You don't have off, I said. No, I know that. All right, Sophie, you can clean this space up, honey. Clean up this space. But we need the cutting board back. So what she's going to do is just kind of get rid of some of her little dribs and drabs here. And we're going to actually... Dribs and drabs. We're actually going to try to go a little bit faster. We've got our water boiling now. Get rid of this. I'm going to put the linguine the spaghetti, right into here.
Not like green, Mom. Silly, Mom.
I know, right?
You must really
Gluten-free Grandma, are you hungry? No? Gluten-free Grandma didn't sleep, so she might not be hungry at all. Sometimes when you don't sleep, you can't eat. You can have until you catch up on that, and you need to get back into your routine. All right, so I've got the pasta cooking. This hopefully will be quick. I'm going to actually put the top on so it stays real hot. I'm going to drop down our basil into the fryer, just real quick. Back up. It usually turns a little bit brown from the fryer, the abuse the fryer gives it. Yeah, gets abused in the fryer. Gonna just take that down a little bit. And that literally only takes like a couple of seconds. It's done. Fried herbs really have a great flavor and they do really bring a lot to the dish, but if you don't have the time or you just don't want to be bothered, don't worry about it because you could just put a nice piece of fresh basil on top and it will be just as delicious and as beautiful. So we don't want you to feel bad about that because you don't want to turn on the fryer just for that, Maybe have a little pot of hot oil you could do. Jeremiah, how's it going back there? So we have the basil infused coffee, which is called a basilica, and they call it a basilica latte. Now Jeremiah, hopefully he foamed the milk. I don't know if you iced mine or mine's cold or hot. What's that?
Ice.
What's that?
Ice.
What are you throwing away?
Garbage.
With our pasta, we have some really delicious treats that we got at Joe Leone's. If any of you guys are at Joe Leone's in Point Pleasant, wow, amazing. So if you want to bring that over here, and we can get rid of our herbs. You guys good on the herbs? Parsley, oregano, rosemary, basil. Want to put that away, Sophia? Just move that over there, honey. Can you bring me all of that stuff over there, please? Mm-hmm. So we have this really nice ricotta pecorino, and this is made in Italy. It's beautiful, gorgeous. It's going to take me a minute to open it. Bring the tray too, honey. I want the tray. And then we got a really nice mascarpone from Joe Leone's. And what I'm going to have Sophia do is cut this open. She's going to put a little bit of that in our moly grater so we can grate it on top of our pasta. If you have cheese allergy, obviously you're going to omit. We're going to be using pine nuts today, or tiger nuts if you have a pine nut allergy. Tiger nuts is all for you.
I have a pine nut allergy.
Look at this. Oh, you gotta go show that.
I have a pine allergy.
No, you don't. This is super yummy. You guys can't see my Basilico latte. Sorry, but I'm gonna drink it. Mmm. I just love coffee and herbs.
Amy.
Huh? Miss Jeannie? She doesn't like it or she does? Oh yeah? We'll save one for her. How about that?
That's what my wife is saying.
Oh, yummy, yummy, yummy.
Do I get one?
That's very strong,
Oh, is that mine?
actual espresso.
Is this mine? Thank you.
Alright, we've got our pasta boiling. And I'm going to need your help to empty this water out, most of it anyway.
Okay.
Our pasta's cooking, and I'm just going to move it around a little bit. You know, sometimes you don't think you could cook pasta or you're afraid, but this is like really super simple. We do it in our West Bend sometimes. Well, all the time for the show. Not yet, honey. Not yet. Can you move out, please? Thank you. Flexing? Oh my god. With your Hurley wetsuit shirt on?
Yeah.
Alright, so did you go surfing this morning?
No.
Alright, so we're cooking our pasta. The water's going to get really nice and cloudy. That's that starch coming out. That starch is actually going to make us a nice little sauce with our olive oil and some of our cheese and herbs, which is going to be super, super yummy. It's going to be a quick toss in the pan, so don't worry. We're not going to hold you up too long. What was that? Agave? Oh, we got some agave. We have been having really good coffee lately. I really want more basil. I know that you can make the basil syrup, cook it down in the pan with some sugar and water, but I really just want more basil flavor. Alright, let's see. Pasta's almost
I
done.
need more, not basil.
Almost.
Can I taste it?
Oh, I dropped it. When we had the restaurant, you would have to just throw it on the wall to see if it was done. No, I know we never actually did it. But when my brother was there, we did. He would be doing that all the time. A little bit more pasta cooking, and then Jeremiah can empty the water a little bit for me. Jeremiah, I need to keep some of this water, so don't empty all of it, okay?
Can I taste it?
Sure, Sophia. So if you like your pasta al dente, gluten-free pasta is the best to do that with because it's hard, 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 hard. And the brown rice pasta is really nice. I think it holds up good. You like it like that? Now, this Aldi's pasta is just brown rice. It's not brown rice and quinoa like the other ones are. All right, Jeremiah, can you dump some of this out for me, please? Jeremiah. Are you going to be able to do it or you want to come from here and get it? Come over here and get it? Careful. All right, so he's going to take down that water to half of the amount, maybe. Let me just check and I'll let you know how much. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Go, 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 go,
Now
go,
it's
go,
nice
go.
and sweet.
More. Once he brings that back to me, I'm going to start to add... Oh, yeah? Let's see. That's a lot of agave, not a little. I could taste the basil in hers actually a little bit better than mine, which maybe the agave kind of balanced the basil out.
Are you
Did
okay?
you burn yourself, honey?
No.
Okay, I'm going to take a little bit more water.
You got it on your arm.
Alright, so I've got a little bit of water in there. You want to be careful when you're dumping that water out, right? And what I'm going to do is turn that all the way up. I'm going to throw in just all of my ingredients here that I have. I'm not going to do the olive oil yet because I want to get that heat up real high. And I really don't want to put the olive oil under too much pressure. So I'm just going to kind of toss these in. Oh, it smells so good. I can smell it. I smell garlic, gluten-free grandma. I smell garlic. So I've got that water in there. It's going to kind of make a nice little sauce. And what I'm going to do is just add a... You okay? We're going to add a little dollop of mascarpone. That's okay. Or we're going to add some of our cheese on top if we're ready. Cut open that. I'm going to grate some of this lemon zest into the pot to brighten it up. And then I'm going to do a squeeze of lemon juice in there also. You want to make sure you're using organic lemons if you can, if possible. I'm losing all my helpers today.
I'm taking a drink of water.
Alright, so I'm just going to grate the top. Then I'm going to cut the lemon.
Gotta stay happy.
Yep, gotta stay hydrated. I want to keep those herbs nice and green, so I don't want to cook it too long, right? Somehow I feel like I just want to turn this up all the way. Squeeze a little bit of lemon in there. You know when you get the pits that it was actually a real lemon? And that probably tastes super delicious, right? Alright, lemon zest is in, tomatoes are in, onions are in, garlic is in. You definitely don't want that in there. And I've got my tomatoes and all of the herbs. Let me just cover that up for a second. So if you have a lot of your greens coming out from the summer, towards the end, pick all of your green tomatoes, pick your red tomatoes. We've got some nice green tomatoes here. You can make a nice salsa, or you could pickle them like Miss Molly was going to do, pickled green tomatoes. Or you can fry them up, which is what we did for Teen Takeover. We had a fried green tomato sandwich, which I could go for that again,
And
actually.
Anna liked it.
She liked the fried green tomato sandwich. I love it. Or you could take these and dice them up and just kind of add them to your pasta dish if you want. They have a nice acidity, and they're actually really good when they're green, right? Don't you like them green?
I like rattlesnake salsa.
Rattlesnake salsa is made with tomatillos, not green tomatoes.
I know, but it's
Okay.
rattlesnake.
All right, so the pasta is boiling up now. We've got
Bless you.
actually,
Bless you.
God bless you. Was that you or you? Is that you? Okay. God bless you and you. Pasta's cooked now. We're going to get ready to serve up our plate. Hopefully. Sophie could pass out all of the stuff that we need. I'm going to take a sip of my Basilico. I like coffee. I'm a coffee drinker. I love espresso regular, whether it's decaf or regular. If you wanted to substitute that for regular coffee, you could do that. And also you could infuse the milk. So that way you can steam the milk on the stovetop, put your herbs in there, you kind of steep them in there a little bit. Once it gets to a little bit of a bubble, you can take that down and let it sit, and then you just strain it out and you'll have a nice flavored milk. You can do that if you want. All right, honey, let's get back to where we are here. All right, so I've got this cooked. Almost done, almost done. We have a couple little last things that we need to do. Pasta's cooked. Salt and pepper are going in for the kill, right? Going in for the win here. We've got our pepper. Sophie, could you do that, please? What? Do the pepper. We're going to toss in some of our pine nuts. Now you could toast these first, or you can just throw them in there.
You got enough pepper?
No, I need more. Pepper is like really super duper in this dish, so you want to make sure you get it in there. I'm going to use a little bit of that cheese. I'm going to go right in with it. Easy. Good girl. And last but not least, I'm going to do that olive oil. This is really good extra virgin organic olive oil, so I don't want to mess it up by, taking all of those beautiful properties away. All right, so now it's time to eat. We hope you guys, BYON, first
Bring your
of all,
napkin.
bring your own napkin, and we hope that maybe we did make you drool after all that talk that we didn't have a great show planned for you today. I don't know if it's a great show, but it's a good show.
I just want a little bit.
You just want a little bit, you're not hungry? Ask her why she's not hungry. Somebody asked this kid why she's not hungry.
Because I ate
What did you eat?
nachos.
Big plate of nachos right
It was my
before the show.
breakfast.
Yep. All right, so now is the chance if you want to put your nice fried herb on top.
Why, did
So
you just
crispy.
Do that? Did you
Yeah.
just do that?
And maybe a little dollop of that mascarpone, Sophia. And Jeremiah could take some pictures for us, and then we're literally done. So if you guys enjoyed the show, please comment below. If you didn't like the show, I totally understand, but you can keep your comments. We'll just take the good ones today. We don't have it in us to take the bad ones. But if you have any suggestions or comments or things that you would like to see us cook, You know, we did a lot of this versus that all summer, and that was a really fun thing. If you have any other suggestions for this versus that, we will definitely do that. You tried the pasta? You like it? Is there enough lemon in there? I like a lot of lemon.
Add more.
All right, well, let me make a plate for gluten-free Grandma. We gotta feed her.
She
You gotta
doesn't
make
want it.
sure
She doesn't want it.
she wants a little bit. Okay. We're gonna give her just a little bit. We'll squeeze a little bit more lemon on that. Sophia put a little bit of cheese on there for gluten-free Grandma. And I'm gonna take a bite, but we're actually out. So you guys, thank you Jeremiah for coming home when he was out. Sophia, thank you honey for your help. Everybody was kind of like pooey today. So we had to like rally the troops up. Sophia said, go pray, Mommy, and I had to get on my knees and pray so that we had a great day. We hope you guys have a great day and a great Labor Day weekend. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for spending your time with us today. Here, Jeremiah, got it right here. We want you guys to come, taste and see how good it is to be gluten-free. We will be on next week. We have a great show planned for you next week. So tune in and let us know if you have any suggestions for us. If you're ordering donuts this week, you gotta wait till Tuesday and Thursday, and we'll see you guys soon. Have a great weekend. God bless.
Ciao.
Have a delicious weekend, right?
Wardrobe by Off the Racks, Bayville, New Jersey. Aprons by REM Designs. Hair by Satinique. Makeup by Artistry. Follow us on livestream, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, and YouTube at ABC Gluten Free. Thank you to our pantry partners and fridge friends.
Have a little cheese on it.
ABC Gluten Free is a production of American Gods.
Ciao, everybody. Have a delicious weekend.
Ciao.
God bless.